My name's Christina and you're watching Proud Book Lion, and today I'm going to do my wrap up part 3 out of 2018. So since last we spoke, I've read 5 books. 4 new ones and 1 reread, so let's just get into them. First up is a book I read for my English class, which is The Book of Joe by Jonathan Proper, and I really did not like this book. I'm not even going to pretend. I did get an A on the video I made for my English teacher discussing this book, but it is very misogynistic. The main character literally sexualizes his nieces. They are 12 years old. He comments basically every woman in this book and judges the women on their appearance. He idolizes and sexualizes one of his best friend's mothers, and his ultimate dream is to have sex with her. I do not like the main character, and he hasn't visited his town for 17 years, and after that, or like during these 17 years, he's actually written a book about his old town, and he's like made his old coach, even if he actually never got into the team, a pedophile in the book, so everybody in the town hates him. He revisits the town because his father is dying and things happen. I really do not like it. It has sentences like anorexic shoulder, like why would you use anorexic as an adjective? I don't understand it. It has main character, or not main character, but one of the most important characters is gay, but he calls himself faggot. Other people call him faggot. There's just like one guy is being accused of being gay and then he's like, you besmirched my reputation. There's just a lot of homism in the book, even if it's like supposed to fight against that. I believe it's just very hypocritical. I don't like it. It's misogynistic, it's homophobic, it's meh. I don't like it. It had some good things about grief and about coming to terms with yourself and trying to, or like actually understanding that you need to be responsible for your actions, even if the main character never really did understand that, but I think that was the point. I'm not even sure. I just really didn't like it. I think I gave it 2 out of 5 stars just because of the small portions about grief and about understanding how when you lose somebody, other people lose that somebody as well. And that was basically the only thing that I liked about this book. Also the character Jared. I liked Jared. He was a nice kid. After that, I'm fairly certain you can see that I'm missing City of Ashes. So I reread City of Ashes for the live show with Emma because of the Drag Society, and I'm following the relaunch schedule. So I love that live show. I'll probably leave the live show down below because I think you should watch it. It's great. But I loved it and I loved rereading it. You do realize like new things and like new aspects and like how much Clyman really didn't work, but like how both of them kind of understood that. And I don't know, I just think that the older I get and reading them with my new experiences, they make me think and understand things about the characters and how they react that I didn't before. So I just really love rereading them, and I always like find these tidbits of like how Cassie Clare had already planned the entire universe, and that is really like all the respect to Cassie Clare. But yeah, I loved it and I think I gave it 5 out of 5 stars because it's great. After that, I read Renegades by Marissa Meyer, and this is like about a superhero, or like they're called prodigies, and she's kind of an anti-hero. So she doesn't like the ones that are ruling the world or the town, but she kind of wants to infiltrate them so that she can bring them down. That's basically the premise. And I absolutely loved it. It was super duper cool. The like prodigy's abilities aren't the usual ones. Like one of the characters, he's able to draw whatever and then he can pull it out from the wall and it becomes real. So it was just new abilities, and the world was constructed in a really nice way, and I love that it made you second guess if you were on the good guy side or on the bad guy sides, and what really is a good side and what really is a bad side. It was just a lot of perspectives and you got to think a lot for yourself, like what is good, what is bad. It was like not black or white, it was the entire grayscale, and I really appreciated that. I think I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars just because I thought it was a bit hard to get into in the beginning, and I never really connected on a deeper level with any of the characters, but yeah, I did really appreciate it. and it was really a great book, and I usually do not reach for this like sci-fi fantasy genre, so I was pleasantly surprised and I would highly recommend it. Oh, and this was for the Bibliothon book club, so if you have not watched the live show for Renegades, I would highly recommend that as well, because that live show was really fun and I had loads of fun watching it live, of course. So I'll leave that down below as well. Next up, I read Rain the Earth by A.C. Cohen. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I did really enjoy this. This is the Booksplosion book of March. When I'm filming this, the live show will be next week, but when you are seeing this, the live show has probably already happened, so I'll leave the live show down below. I really appreciated this novel. I liked how the main character, Shalia, she is black and she has her like people that she's trying to protect, but I do not like her husband, not just only because he's abusive, which is like, that's wrong, and the husband is very manipulative and abusive, and even if I understand that it's fiction and that these people do exist, I thought that how Shalia deals with it and how everybody else deals with it wasn't the best. And even if his brother does try to fight him in some ways, I just struggle with it, like that aspect, and I struggle with the fact that Shalia is black and the author is white, and I always am afraid that the representation will be off when you write from somebody that probably faces a lot more oppression than what you do. Not saying that it's not allowed, because of course it is, and I do want to see more black characters. It's just I'm always afraid of the representation when it comes to that. Although the fact that A.C. Cohen wrote this when she was unable to even have her head kept up straight was very inspiring, and the writing is pretty amazing. I just struggled with some aspect of it and I never really could get into it. I did like the thing about Elemente because they have powers from the elements, so earth, fire, wind, water, you get me. I did like that aspect, and I did like the dystopian world that they had created with the different people, because I do believe that that kind of segregation will happen. I just struggled with some of the representation and I never really got into the plot. I was not invested truly in it. I was invested for Shalia's child, but that was probably the only character that I cared about, and that is a character that has yet to be born, so I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. I think I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, but yeah, I did like it, I suppose. And if you can see, it's from my library, so I actually asked my library to buy it for me, which was really nice because they did that. Next up, I have The Woman in the Window by A.G. Finn, and I believe this is an adult psychological thriller. It's a Bibliothon book club for like February to April, is that correct? I'm going to say that. I'm not sure about the months anymore because I do not keep up with that, but I believe the live show has not yet happened, so you should absolutely pick it up if you like that kind of genre. It's about a woman that has agoraphobia and she is living in her house, and what she does during the days, apart from drinking a lot of Merlot. I was not even aware that Merlot was a kind of wine, but after reading this, Merlot is apparently a red wine that the main character, Dr. Anna Fox, a child psychologist, loves and adores. She hasn't left her house for 10 months, and obviously you get bored. So apart from watching her old black and white movies, she spies at her neighbors a lot. Apparently she began with binoculars, but now she has moved on to camera because apparently that's not as suspicious. I don't even know. But that's what she does. And when she spies on her newly, like the neighbors have just kind of arrived because they have just moved in. She spies at them and she sees a woman getting stabbed. And suddenly she has probably witnessed a murder. So what are you supposed to do now? That is the question for Dr. Anna Fox. I really loved it. It had so many twists and turns. I was not anticipating all of them. And yeah, it's just a really thrilling and gripping novel, and I like had to keep reading. The chapters are super short and it just moves by really quickly. I know it looks like it's a massive book and I was like, I'm never going to be able to read this, but I flew through it and I loved like almost every single page. And I love the fact that she has agoraphobia and how she uses a website called Agora where she talks to other people with agoraphobia. And she kind of helps them, and I did like that aspect because I myself used a similar site when I was younger where we kind of helped each other with our mental struggles, but in Swedish, and I've helped others and others has helped me via online contact. And I think that is an amazing thing to show, and even if you read the entire book, you'll see how Agora plays in, which I might not appreciate that much, but I do understand it. I did like it in the beginning as well, just for that fact that online help is something that we are able to use, and that's a lovely and amazing thing that we should be thankful for and we should appreciate. I think I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars, but I really truly enjoyed it and I was not anticipating on that. So yeah, and my library actually bought this book for me as well because I love my school library. They're so kind. So yeah, I'm doing pretty well on the library challenge that I gave myself. At least. So those were the 5 books that I read since last we spoke. What have you all read? I would love to know. And I hope that you enjoyed watching me talk about these books, and just thank you so much for watching. Your support means the world to me, and I hope that you have a lovely day /night /whatever part is for you. Bye!